what Harry and Meghan will do next, and a public reprimand for the Queen. Hello and welcome to our 9.com.au vodcast Royal Briefing. I'm Nicole Douglas.
And I'm Natalie Oliveri, royal reporter for 9.com.au. I have been covering all things royal for nearly 2 decades. The British royals, the Danish royals, celebrity. Sometimes there's a fine line between royals and celebrity, Nicole.
100%. I am the entertainment editor, so I know all about that, and I class Meghan as a celebrity in her own right.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, a week later after Harry and Meghan arrived in Australia, we are still talking about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and they really have blurred that line between royal and celebrity, right?
Exactly. They have. It's all anybody can talk about this week. It's been fascinating. They've been all around Australia. They started off for their 4-day whirlwind tour. They began in Melbourne, and then they went to Canberra. Well, just Harry went to Canberra, then they went back to Melbourne, and then they finished off in Sydney. Now, you, as a royal reporter, were actually right alongside them for 2 major events. So you were there in Melbourne for Harry's mental health speak, and you were also in Sydney for the coveted boat ride that they took across the harbour. So from a journalist's perspective, what was it like covering the tour?
It was interesting because this tour was really different from the last time they were here back in 2018. I guess from a media point of view, access this time was very restricted. And I think the whole tour itself was very stage managed. It was really controlled, and access for journalists was very limited. We were only allowed to apply for a very small group of events because Harry and Meghan had their own dedicated little team of select journalists and a photographer travelling with them. So I guess from that point of view, I got to see them, but not a lot, not as much, I should say, as back in 2018 when I got to go, everywhere with them. Look, what I really noticed this time around, though, Nicole, was Harry. He was happy to be here. He was relaxed. He was the fun Harry that we all sort of knew before his marriage to the Duchess.
Yep.
But I think as for Meghan, she seemed way more confident this time around, and you could tell she knew people wanted to see her. She knew her own star power, I think. And I really got the impression that smile of hers, that amazing smile, was very much painted on, though. Like, it seemed to me at times very, very fake. And look, I can see the value in Meghan. I think she has done great things. But to me, she just looked like she was acting for the whole time in Australia.
This is outrageous. I just, honestly, even if she can't do anything right with you, I think sometimes not. You also, I remember the look on your face after you came back from that Harry and Meghan thing. You were so happy with the way it went. You loved it.
Yeah,
look, amazing.
I do actually really like the couple and some of the things that they have done, and I think they can do amazing things for charity, and a lot of issues that some might say are a little bit boring. Harry and Meghan can bring a lot of attention to that, and I do think the success of the tour has shown the royal family what could have been. Had they stayed, they could have done extraordinary things for the monarchy in bringing the royal family, I guess, into more modern times than what maybe King Charles has done. But I think the biggest thing from this tour is that they have shown that they could have the half in, half out approach that they weren't allowed to have by the late Queen Elizabeth. That model was rejected. Harry and Meghan, they have said, screw it, we're doing it anyway. And I think whether or not that half in, half out approach has been endorsed by the Windsors, Harry and Meghan are just going about it their own way. They curated this tour to do exactly what interests them. And I think it worked in a way, but to me, one of the biggest weird issues, the biggest problems with this tour was the commercialisation of Meghan's wardrobe.
I thought that was a great idea. I think things like this, like, you all know, like, when Kate goes out and about, Kate, for anybody who doesn't know, by the way, Meghan has signed up with an AI. I think it's called
One-Off.
One-Off. So
Something
Meghan
like that.
has partnered with One-Off, who is
like a shopping platform.
It's like a shopping platform. So basically anything that she wears, you can buy it online. You can go and have a look what she's worn, and you can grab it. You can grab it for yourself, which I think is great because, as we know, whenever Kate steps out and about, it doesn't matter what engagement she goes to, everybody wants to buy exactly what dress Kate is wearing.
And I've fallen for that before. I've bought things the royals have worn. I've bought things Meghan has worn.
Yeah.
But the difference here is that Meghan is earning a commission. So every time I or someone goes and clicks one of those affiliate links and buys something, Meghan gets a cut.
Isn't that a good thing, though? Isn't that a good thing? Because also she's supporting local designers
very
in the
much,
exact
yes.
way that she wants to do it. And she's also getting a cut without having to do anything, really, which I think is just strategy genius. It's brilliant.
It's a good strategy. It's a good way for the Duchess to make money, I guess, now that, you know, the Netflix deal is over, the Spotify deal is over. So where else can she go from here? But I do think the problem with this is that when you're going to a children's hospital and you're making money off flogging a $1,200 designer dress, that's a little in bad taste.
I see what you're saying. However, I do think you can't, like, every majority of events that she goes to are going to be charitable, which I think has also been a great thing on this tour. Like, as you said before about the half in, half out approach, it's been very interesting to see how they've done that, and they've managed to come over here, do such good things, meet such inspiring people, and also get their money on the side. Now, there's been loads of celebrities that do similar things. There's been Emma Roberts who's signed up for the same platform.
Right.
Kate Hudson is signed up for the same platform. If she was to go to a charity gala, you can buy her dress. I just don't think we need to put so much pressure on, like, this was a nice event for a charity. Like, we can't but possibly wear the top that she wore there. Like, people will just find ways to just make it really bad. And in actual fact, it's just about a blouse. It's not about the charity.
I get that. Like, I guess for many royal watchers, it's just very jarring having a royal, because she, by association...
It's always jarring for these royal watchers. Honestly, they're always jarred.
Because we just haven't seen it before. Like, we haven't seen
times are
British
changing.
royal...
They should
True.
grow up.
Yes, that is... Perhaps we need to get with the times a bit more. Meghan is moving quickly. But I think it's just that we don't really see royals, I guess, promoting themselves as royal, as Duchess of Sussex, because that's her name on this platform. She's not just Meghan Markle on this platform. She is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. So I think that is the part where she is blurring the lines between, you know, royal and moneymaker here. And I don't think that is sitting well with a lot of people. Yes, Catherine's fashion sells out. Queen Mary's fashion. There's so many other royals. Even Queen Camilla. Like, like, even people like her clothes. She wears a lot of amazing jewellery, but she's not getting a cut from it like Meghan is. But look, that's just one of the things with the Duchess there.
Well, if she didn't do it, then another AI bot would be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
so
and
why the hell not? She needs the money. Why not?
She does need the money, and that's the thing. Harry and Meghan, they haven't solved their security issues. They do need to earn a living.
Exactly. Keep them safe. But there is one part of this tour which, I will be honest, did not see coming at all. I think we were both shocked when we saw the image, and that is, of course, Meghan appearing on MasterChef.
Please welcome to the MasterChef Australia kitchen, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle!
Okay, so after watching that advert, right, I've just, as a journalist, I've been working in this industry for a long time, you know? When you work with high profile talent, such as Meghan, there's no higher than that. The PR, the hoops you have to jump through to try and get that interview. If she signed up for MasterChef, the things you would have to go through to make sure it was absolutely perfect, the things you would have to sign on for, you'd have to tell the PRs that you can't ask certain questions and things like that. So when Poe, we love Poe, God love Poe, but when Poe said the words, "Welcome, Meghan Markle," do you think that her whole publicity team was screaming at the TV, "It's Sussex now"?
Don't you know I'm Sussex now?
Yeah, you know?
I think that was just so crazy, and I think you could probably see Meghan slowly dying inside. Like, no, that is not my name. I'm a Sussex. But look, you're right. Like, how that was allowed to get past Meghan's PR team, I don't know. But I guess most people call her Meghan Markle. But she likes to refer to herself as Duchess of Sussex, as she correctly should, because that is her title. I guess, though, the first thing people wanted to know, how much was Meghan paid for this appearance? And we understand that she wasn't paid a fee. But look, she's making money through the promotion of As Ever, her lifestyle brand, her jams, her flour sprinkles, her wine, her honey. I'm imagining some sort of challenge there, like how many ways can one use jam in a recipe, or how many ways can one use flour sprinkles?
I think we should do that as an article.
I think
We'd
have to get quite creative. You said you were shocked to see Meghan on MasterChef. Why? I mean, she's an actress. She loves food. She loves speaking about her life and herself. Why did it surprise you?
I think it was just the initial. I'm actually really surprised that this didn't leak beforehand. Like, you always hear whispers about what she could potentially be doing, what might have happened. We did know that she was going to go down to Bondi with Harry on the Friday before the actual harbour ride, but nobody had an inkling about this. So just to keep that under lock and key, I found quite surprising. And I'm not that surprised that she's gone on MasterChef. It is a nice little foray into reality TV, which I want to watch the full episode. I think it's going to be amazing. But I am just quite surprised that's what we'll see her on.
Yeah.
Did I want her on the block? Yes. Did I want her on maths? Perhaps. But yes.
I would like to see Meghan on the block, I think.
Just to wrap this section up, Harry and Meghan, what do you think they're going to be doing next after this tour?
Well, that's the big question everyone wants to know. Can they make this half-in, half-out model work in other countries, particularly the UK? Because, we're expecting Harry to go back there in the coming months for the Invictus Games event. And will he take Meghan? Will he take Archie and Lilibet? Of course, if their security issue is solved. But I'm wondering, can they blend commercial and charity in the UK? Will Brits actually allow this to happen? Because it was a hugely defiant move here in Australia, and I don't know whether it's going to fly in the UK.
So now we're going to move on to other royal news. It's your favourite royal, of course, and it involves a sausage dog. So I really say no more. It's absolutely astonishing. I do actually have the clip of this. Do you want to just explain?
Yeah, so this was it actually shocked me, Nicole. This moment really made me uncomfortable. It was Queen Mary and King Frederick joining the King's mother, Queen Margrethe, on Thursday for her 86th birthday. And they were standing outside Fredensborg Palace, north of Copenhagen, and they were there to basically wish her a happy birthday, listen to a few songs by the Royal Lifeguards Band, and let's just have a look what happened. Everyone's smiling. Mary, you can see the discomfort on her face. This is 5 days after her dad died, by the way. And she bends down to pat Queen Margrethe's dog. And the Queen is heard saying to Mary, "Now is not the time for that." Now, that is a translation. I do not speak Danish, but the Queen Margrethe told off Mary. She reprimanded Mary for bending down to pat the Dachshund, Tilia.
Yep.
And I think, firstly, as I said, 5 days after Mary's dad passed away, she had to go out and face the cameras, face the media at this brief appearance in Fredensborg. Mary wasn't scheduled to be there. You could see on her face just how uncomfortable she was, having to parade herself in front of the cameras. She was the only one wearing dark mourning clothes. Even King Frederick wasn't really wearing a dark suit. So I think that in itself is a bit disrespectful. But, Mary was putting on a brave face, smiling to the cameras, and then she goes to pat the dog, a dog that she has known for many, many years, and she gets told off by her mother-in-law.
I know, but do you know what? It's mad because all of these moments we can clip up, and it's such an she probably didn't even realise she said that. You know what I mean? And it's do you know what? I find these absolute gold. I love it when a little bit of personality comes through in the royal family. We don't see it a lot when the mask just slips a bit. But I've got a cat at home, Luna the cat. Legend. But if you patted her on the head, it doesn't matter who is there. It doesn't matter if Axl Rose walked in. I love Axl Rose. Don't I
would love to see that.
Do you know what I mean? And he was patting. I'd have to say 2 pats and she will swipe you.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who comes and does it.
Luna needs a warning.
Yeah, Luna needs a warning. She does. So I think this was just one of those moments where she's just on a bit of an off day. She's like, don't pat that damn dog, because if that dog had jumped up and bit Mary, can you imagine the absolute scenes it would have caused? Chaos.
Yeah, I guess perhaps I'm just feeling a bit more emotional because I do have that close connection with Mary.
Yes.
And I think that don't say anything negative to Mary, especially at this time of mourning for her. And I think it's made me quite annoyed with Queen Margrethe, and it's made me not like her as much as I used to. It's made me very angry.
Wow, this dog has really brought out a lot of fire.
It's fired me up, and I think Mary wasn't even supposed to be there. She was just trying to do something nice for her mother-in-law by wishing her a happy birthday in front of the cameras, and then this has happened. I think Mary handled the telling off with poise and grace, as she does with everything.
She might have told her 5 times before, do not, whatever you do, don't pat that dog.
Maybe Mary
like
wanted
that.
to take the attention away
Yeah,
from
maybe
the
Mary was
Queen
just
and-
absolutely being like, no, I'm not doing this.
Queen Mary and the dog scandal is not the only royal incident making news around the world, is it, Nicole?
No, it isn't. So Fergie has been spotted for the first time in Austria, of all places, amid the Epstein scandal that continues to plague the world. Is Austria where you'd expect to have seen her?
Look, it's like Where in the World is Wally? Or what's that book?
Where's Wally?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Where's Wally? Because we've all been wondering, where is Fergie? And she pops up in Austria. She's been photographed at a ski chalet or a chalet, some private house there, looking very laid back. She had a hat on, looking like she doesn't have a care in the world. But of course, Fergie has a lot of cares in the world.
Yeah.
It did surprise me that we have finally seen her, because she hasn't been spotted in public since September, when she was in London with the rest of the royal family.
Yep.
And then she was sort of hiding in the back of the car when she attended her grandchild's christening a couple of months later. But we finally know where Fergie
Know
is.
where Fergie is. Someone else that's been keeping a very low profile is, of course, Andrew, the former Prince Andrew. And even this week, he was asked to relinquish his Freedom of the City London title. I'm asking you, Nat, does he have any titles left? Like, what is remaining?
He really doesn't have many titles left. I don't think he has any. But this, I guess, is just further isolation from the man he once was. He's lost his titles, his home, his status. It's just another embarrassment for Andrew. This City of London, Freedom of the City of London, it's a very, very old title. And I think it emerged back in the 1200s. And it has something to do with being able to trade in the City of London many, many years ago. It's an honorary thing. A lot of royals have it. A lot of celebrities have it. But look, Andrew doesn't have to give it up. He's just been asked to do so. But look, I just think, where else can Andrew go from here? He has not been charged yet. He's denied all wrongdoing. I just can't stop watching the Andrew drama unfold. I just want to know what's next for him.
Kate and Will, they're going to be out this weekend for Anzac Day, and it's also the Queen's 100th birthday.
Yeah, so with Anzac Day, firstly, William, I don't think is actually going to be involved as far as we know,
really?
but Princess Anne and the Princess of Wales, they'll be representing the royal family, and is going to be commemorating Anzac Day at a dawn service in London later this week. And the Princess of Wales will be attending a wreath-laying ceremony and also a service at Westminster Abbey. Perhaps William might turn up there too. April 21st is the day that Queen Elizabeth II would have turned 100, and the royal family, they're all out and about marking this centenary of her birth. And I think it's really, really, I guess, heartwarming to see that she passed away in 2022, but the royal family are really still carrying on her legacy. They do this every day just with the royal duties. But I think we heard from King Charles. It was a very moving speech he gave. It actually made me tear up.
God bless you, darling Mama. You remain forever in our hearts and prayers.
To everyone else, she's the Queen. She was the Queen. But to him and the rest of the royals, she was mum. She was grandmother and a great-grandmother. So I think we can't really forget that when talking about the Queen. But I can't believe she would have been 100 this week had she lived.
The things she would have seen, I would love to see what she would have said about her favourite son. But do you know what? I guess we'll never know.
Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us on Royal Briefing.
You can catch more of us on 9.com.au or on our YouTube channel.